Welcome to the vast and layered world of the Ottoman Empire. Tonight, we embark on a slow and detailed journey through the daily lives, challenges, and quiet moments that define the experience of living under one of the longest-lasting empires in history. Get comfortable. Let your thoughts drift to the echo of sandals across the marble courtyards, the scent of spices in a bustling bazaar, and the rhythmic chants of evening prayer. The Ottoman Empire was founded in 1299 by Osman I in northwestern Anatolia. It lasted over 600 years, officially ending in 1922 with the formation of the Republic of Turkey. At its height under Suleiman the Magnificent, who ruled from 1520 to 1566, it stretched from Hungary in the northwest to Yemen in the southeast. At the top of society stood the Sultan and the royal family, wielding ultimate authority. Below them were viziers and elite administrators, responsible for managing the vast empire. The military elite included janissaries and cavalrymen known as sipahi. Ordinary citizens filled roles as merchants, artisans, farmers, and peasants. Religious leaders, such as the ulama and imams, held spiritual sway, while many individuals served as laborers under contractual or unfree conditions. Rural peasants led lives centered around agriculture, grappling with taxes and local disputes. Urban dwellers participated in guilds, visited markets, and maintained tight-knit family structures. Homes were built of wood or adobe, often gathered around shared courtyards. Meals included staples like lentils, rice, flatbread, lamb stew, and pickled vegetables. Clothing was modest and layered, with embroidery indicating wealth. Islam was the state religion, but the Ottoman Empire was religiously diverse. Christians, Jews, and others lived in semi-autonomous communities known as millets. Religious life was marked by Friday prayers, the call to prayer echoing from minarets, and Ramadan observances. Education was provided in religious schools, where students learned Arabic, logic, law, and theology. Libraries preserved knowledge from Greek, Persian, and Arabic traditions. Coffeehouses emerged as informal centers of social and intellectual exchange. The patriarchal system defined gender roles. Women in cities often enjoyed more autonomy than their rural counterparts. The harem, often misunderstood, was a space of education and influence for women within the palace. Marriages were typically arranged, and extended families lived together in shared households. Medical care combined herbal remedies with insights from Greek and Arabic texts. Hospitals provided treatment for both mental and physical ailments. Urban sanitation relied on systems of public baths, or hammams, to maintain hygiene. The Janissaries were an elite infantry corps, originally composed of Christian boys who were recruited at a young age by imperial order. These boys underwent rigorous training and pledged lifelong loyalty to the Sultan. Over time, the Janissaries gained political influence, but their effectiveness declined, contributing to internal instability. As the daily rhythms of the empire unfold, we begin to see the deep interweaving of power, faith, and survival. But what of the world beyond its borders? What pressures, conflicts, and comparisons emerge when we shift the lens? To the east stood the Safavid Empire, representing a Shia Islamic counterpart to the Sunni Ottomans. To the west, the Habsburgs were long-standing military rivals. The Ottomans also dealt with the Mamluks and later navigated complex interactions with European colonial powers. The Ottomans controlled key portions of the Silk Road and dominated the spice trade. Trade flourished through caravanserais and maritime routes. However, With the discovery of sea routes to India, their dominance began to wane. Religion played different roles across empires. In contrast to the religious wars of Christian Europe and the Protestant Reformation, the Ottomans were relatively tolerant. Interfaith relations flourished in some areas, while border tensions occasionally escalated. Ottoman scholars advanced knowledge in astronomy, cartography, and medicine, building on the Islamic Golden Age. They adopted and adapted technologies from both Eastern and Western traditions, creating a unique synthesis. Foreign envoys navigated elaborate court rituals and practiced careful etiquette. Language barriers were common, and gift-giving played a major diplomatic role. Espionage and religious disputes posed serious risks for outsiders. From the outer edges of empire to the ink-stained scrolls of court scribes, history flows in currents of people, ideas, and fate. Let us now return to the human scale, to the faces etched into forgotten records and the small, quiet stories tucked inside grander tales. Their relationship was unique and deeply influential. Hürrem rose from a concubine to become Suleiman's legal wife, a rare event. Their bond shifted court politics and led to intense succession disputes. Evliya Çelebi documented his 40-year journey in a 10-volume work called the Seyahatname. He recorded rich descriptions of life from Vienna to Mecca, including stories of unusual customs, foods, and characters. A farmer's life followed the seasons, with long days spent in the fields and communal gatherings at night. Tax collectors and local judges shaped daily reality. In times of war or famine, survival meant hard choices. Sinan, the chief architect, designed over 300 structures, including the iconic Süleymaniye Mosque. His work blended engineering brilliance with aesthetic harmony, leaving a lasting mark on cities from Edirne to Damascus. Coffeehouses were occasionally banned, seen as places of dissent. Yet poets and satirists found refuge there, using art to critique the powerful. This subtle rebellion revealed the social tensions beneath imperial splendor. Stories make history breathable. They reveal that no empire, no matter how vast, is beyond the reach of a single soul's sorrow or joy. And yet, beyond these human tales, the empire's influence echoed onward. The Ottoman Empire weakened over centuries due to internal corruption, military stagnation, and rising nationalist movements. Its involvement in World War I and the Treaty of Sèvres marked the end. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk then led the creation of the modern Turkish Republic. The empire's legacy remains visible in architecture across the Balkans and the Middle East. Ottoman cuisine and language left cultural imprints. Modern debates often revisit the empire with nostalgia or critique. Speculative questions invite reflection. What if the empire had modernized earlier? What if the Janissaries had remained effective? Seemingly small choices can shape the arc of history in dramatic ways. As the call to prayer fades into the hush of twilight, we leave behind the domes and bazaars of the Ottoman world. Thank you for joining this slow walk through centuries of history. Sleep well, traveler of time.